There's something I want to talk about in this video today. I'm going to be talking about the differences between wood shave and sawdust in raising your broilers. In response to one of my followers' comment and question that he asked that I should talk about, that is using sawdust or wood shave in raising your broilers, especially in a deep litter system. Is it really safe to actually make use of sawdust instead of wood shave to raise your broilers without any health-related issue? Now, I can tell you for over how many years now, I've been using sawdust to raise my birds. From day one till disposal, I don't experience any form of issue. Amazing, right? Now, if you've not heard of this before from me, especially from my video, you are hearing it for the first time, just relax. I'm going to be explaining everything, what you need to do, how to make good use of that sawdust, which is almost free everywhere you go, in order not to incur some additional production cost. So that is what I'll be talking about in this video today. Now, this stuff you are seeing here, this bedding material, now, is it safe? Is it okay? Won't it introduce some respiratory issues to the birds? Won't it have any health implication? Just relax, that's why I'm here. Now, the very first thing you do, I know when I was starting up, I started based on what I read and from my research there and all of that, I went for wood shave. Got some wood shave, though a bit expensive then per bag. Use it for them and all of that. But I discovered that at the time, it wasn't really that okay for me based on how the cost was and some risk associated with wood shave. That's especially what I'll be talking about today, because I have been expecting somebody to ask me this question. Okay, now that I'm raising my broilers almost every time, what kind of bedding materials am I using? Just for your information, what the bedding materials I've been using since I started for some time now is sawdust. I don't use wood shave. Now, is sawdust safe? Yes, it's very safe. That is why when you see some of my videos from day one, you see me, I will cover them with either carton most times for the first 3-4 days before allowing them access to that sawdust. This is because just as you have them in here, there is no way you can prevent them from picking stuff from this sawdust. There is no way you can prevent them. They will scratch it. They will pick, assuming some feed drops on the litters, they will pick feed from there and all of that. So you cannot avoid that. So, but if, for instance, the kind of wood bedding materials you use is not that safe for them, that's when it will introduce some level of risk to them. Now, what I do when I want to source my sawdust, I ensure that it's from a clean source. Very important. So even if I ask people to help me get them while I'm there, I ensure that they get it from a very clean source. Preferably the ones that they are just shaving, the ones that they are just sawing from the machine. Once they are done, I ask them to pack those ones for me. That's the one I normally use. I'm of the opinion, if you don't have any wood shave available at your disposal or is quite expensive, what you need to do is what I'll be showing you now. First, you need to source that bedding materials, that is sawdust, from a very clean source. Very important. Now, having gotten the sawdust, just like this particular one you are seeing here, because I replaced this one today. So I know some farmers will advise you start making use of sawdust after some weeks of brooding. I start mine from day one. How am I able to do that in order to drop my production cost drastically? By the time I'm setting up my brooder, that is after disinfecting, cleaning the pen, washing and all of that, I spread the sawdust there, not that very thick, and then cover with either newspaper or carton. Cover them for the first 3 to 4 days. Very important, because the chicks must not have access to it within those few days. Now, after that 4 days, you see me remove the cartons and then allow them access to that sawdust. By then, they already know the difference between the feed and the sawdust, though that will not stop them from still picking some stuff from the sawdust. That's quite you can't really prevent that. So that is why you need to ensure that the source where you get your bedding materials like this sawdust or wood shave is clean. And now, what are the advantages of this sawdust over wood shave, or what are the advantages of wood shave over sawdust? First of all, this sawdust you are looking at is free. The only financial aspect of it that will be incurred is your transportation cost of going there to bring them. But if you have a vehicle, you can go there yourself, pick as much as you want, then bring them to your farm. So that's the only cost you might incur. And another thing, this is a business, you need to treat it like one, because even if you take your vehicle there, you ought to account for that transportation as part of your production cost. That is for sawdust. Now, sawdust, they say, is dusty. Now, if you get it from a clean source, especially if you go to that sawmill yourself, observe the sawdust properly before choosing the one to pick, you'll be able to avoid, to some extent, this level of dust. You'll be able to avoid it. Now, does it mean a wood shave is not dusty as well? There are some wood shaver as well that are dusty. So I've been there. So you pack some, it will even be pepperish to your eye. Some wood shave like that, I've experienced that before. Some of the advantages you might this wood shave might have over this sawdust, though I don't make use of wood shave in raising my broilers, is this: it has better airflow. That is for wood shave, because it is not as finely in texture as that of sawdust. So the airflow is better than that of sawdust. Hence, ammonia buildup when using wood shave is less compared to that of sawdust. Now, at times when you even bring your sawdust to introduce to your pen, maybe you left it in the sack for some time, to bring it out, you might even make some of them caked. So you now have to use your hand to spread them into your pen or into your brooder before making use of them. But sawdust has that compatibility feature. It is easily compatible, though that is not that good for bedding materials. But if you manage it properly, you'll be good to go. The airflow, the ammonia buildup is better in terms of wood shave than that of sawdust. Again, I don't make use of wood shave here. All I make use of is sawdust, and I don't have any issue with that. Now, there is something when you maybe you've looked at these options now. Okay, wood shave is better. Okay, it's at my disposal. It's not that expensive and all of that. I can easily get it. But be mindful, because there are some wood that are chemically preserved or that are chemically treated. If you get your wood shave from such source, like I said, you cannot prevent these birds from picking stuff from this wood shave. They may even inject some of this sawdust. Yes, if assuming this sawdust or the wood shave I'm using is chemically treated, and they ingest that of part of that wood shave, you know that what that will cause to their head. So that's one other disadvantage of using a wood shave. Now, there are some people also, they bring their wood to shave. Maybe they use that wood somewhere else before they want to plane it, they bring it. Now, as that engine is planing the wood, there might be some nails that engine is going to plane along with those wood shave. Now, if you mistakenly pack those stuff with the wood shave and then come and use, and now your chicks mistakenly ingest those nails, it's going to affect them. I have seen somebody whose experience is that. So that is with wood shave, because you don't have that with sawdust, because as they are bringing the wood from the forest, they take it to the machine, saw the wood, the leftover, which is the sawdust, is what we pick and then come and use for our broilers. So that's one major disadvantage a wood shave has over sawdust. So another thing also, you see, whenever you go to pack your sawdust, you won't find large wood particles inside that sawdust most times. But that of wood shave, you are likely to find those larger wood particles inside the wood shave. Though this is not a major issue, it's something you can easily remove by hands before using them to either brood or raise your chicks. In all, if you have access to a wood shave, is good. If you don't have access to it, make do with what you have and then use sawdust. That's what I use. But first, before using it, for the first few days, you need to cover it with either newspaper or carton, so that your chicks, because I do raise my birds from day old, so that they don't have access to it for the first few days. Maybe after like 3-4 days, then you cannot leave them on the sawdust. In that case, they are safe. They are good to go. So this is it. Now, another a very good thing you need not to forget is this: being it sawdust, being it wood shave, whichever, being it rice husk, whatever the bedding materials you are using. If for instance you've heard now, okay, wood shave is the best, sawdust is the best, then you just pack them there without adhering to strict management practices that you need to adhere to, you will experience a whole lot of issue raising your broilers, disease outbreak and all of that. One thing you need to understand, as these birds are in this deep litter system, they poo here, they do all sort of stuff here, they play here, they scratch this bedding materials, they bat in it. So if you don't change it as often as possible, it's very likely, the probability is very high that you are going to experience a whole lot of disease outbreak in this pen. So don't joke with the management practices. Replace them, just like the last video I posted. Now, ideally, when the birds are growing, I normally replace my litters between that day 6, day 7, day 8, max day 9. But that's where your physical observation has to come in, your physical senses. You come, okay, are you perceiving some level of ammonia? When you look at it physically, is there anywhere that is totally messed up and all of that? That will require a quick action of removing the whole sawdust or litter materials, replacing them. That's one of the good management practices you need to adhere to. Don't wait, okay, this is the timetable I normally use to replace my sawdust. Oh, every 2 weeks, that's when I replace. Every 3 weeks, that's when I replace. Though you can replace your sawdust every 2 weeks, only if your stocking density is very, very low. When I mean very, very low, imagine a pen that can easily take about 200 birds. You decide to raise like 50 birds or 50 or 25 birds in such pen. Replacing litters by 2 weeks is okay, because by then the pen won't be totally messed up. That's what I mean by the stocking density being very, very low. Don't wait until flies everywhere and all of that before coming to replace them. No. Now, one other thing you need to always take note of, whether you are using a nipple drinking system, bell drinkers, manual drinkers, around that point where they drink water from, there is every probability you have some water dripping on the floor, or as they peck on the pane or drink water from the manual drinkers and all of that, you will experience some water dropping on the floor around there. You might need to pack it. If the other part of the pen where the sawdust has not been totally messed up, you might need to pack that spot, replace it with another bedding materials. So very important, so that you don't encourage the spread of coccidiosis in your pen or disease outbreak. This is very important, and this is what I do, because in this channel I don't just tell you what I don't do. What I do is what I tell you, and what has been giving me result is what I tell you. Now, this is what I'm talking about. You know, as they drink from here, you can see the floor is a bit wet. So I need to pack around where this bear drinker is now and then replace it with another form of litter. It's one of the management practices you need to observe. And also this pen, you can see, though I replaced this bedding materials about 2 days ago, you can see this particular spot now. You can see this spot is a bit wet, so I need to pack it and then replace with another form of litter, so that it doesn't introduce some level of diseases to my pen. This is very important. Okay, now talking of bedding materials for your broilers or bean-it layers and all of that, there is this claim of using sharp sand as your bedding materials. So although I don't always support that claim, because you know, sand is a conductor. That is silicone or something like that. It conducts a heat. So it's not advisable, because you know, during this heat period, your birds looking for a place to cool off is on top of that sand. You imagine the kind of level of heat that they are going to experience. So I don't always advise that. Remember, one of the characteristics of bedding materials is this: it has to be cheap. Now, that sharp sand you are looking at is not cheap. So it should be, I discourage it, I don't encourage it, because the cost of getting some trip of sand that will be enough for you to raise your birds for like how long? is quite expensive, so I don't encourage that. And also some people, they said, okay, you can reuse it. That's not feasible for me, so I prefer this sawdust. It's been giving me positive results, so it's what I use. I don't use wood shave, I don't use sand, I don't use any other form of bedding materials. It's sawdust that I've been using for over how many years now. So you can follow through the same procedure that I normally follow. Now, having heard all this, now which should you choose, sawdust or wood shave? Which is best for you? First of all, before you choose, you need to know the characteristics of bedding material you should use. Number one, it should not be expensive. If it is expensive, that is going to increase your production cost. Look for alternative. Number two, it should be absorbent. Absorbent, what do I mean by absorbent? Now, when they poo on that litter material, is it able to absorb their poo, the moisture from their poo? Is the bedding material able to absorb it? You need to look at that, because this sawdust has that capability, as well as that of wood shave. They also have that capability. I've never used a rice hull or other form of bedding materials. So you need to look at that. Now, the third thing you need to look out for, it should not be flammable. When I mean flammable, it should not be highly flammable. Something that can easily get burnt. No, you shouldn't make use of that. Now, you observe, and whenever you are burning this wood shave, it takes time until it gets burnt. So why am I saying this? There are times, maybe if you are not using a very good heating source like this gas brooder and all of that, or electricity, maybe mistakenly, maybe you are using the charcoal, mistakenly you have some fire gets into the bedding materials. Before you know it, the whole place will be burned down. If it's not that flammable, you won't experience that. Now, there is something I need to quickly correct here. It seems this nipple drinker is dripping, so I need to correct it so that I don't experience any form of leakage. Okay, now having known this, now which should you choose, sawdust or wood shave? Whichever one you choose is good. First of all, look at your surrounding, which is readily available to you. Is it the wood shave? Is it the sawdust? If it is the wood shave, is it cheap? If it's very expensive, avoid it. Look for alternative, because you don't want to unnecessarily increase your production cost. Now, this is what I was talking about. You can never avoid this. They will keep baiting in this sawdust. They will keep scratching it. They will keep picking stuff from this sawdust. This is why it is very, very important. The source, your source, where you get your sawdust from, where you get your bedding materials from. If it is poor, where you have some cats, other animals poo on top of all those sawdust and all of that, and you bring those stuff to breed your best, you are looking for trouble. Avoid that. So when you want to get your wood shave, preferably go there yourself. Look at how clean the place is. Look at how clean the sawdust is before you get it. And one other thing, whenever I want to go and get my sawdust, is this: there are some sawdust that are not that finely in particles. They are not that smooth. They have some level of wood shave and all of that. I always try to go for that. At the same time, looking at them that they are not that dusty. So those are the things I look out for in my sawdust before picking them to come and use in my pen. But above all, ensure you replace it as often as possible, because as these birds, as they keep growing, they keep messing up your pen the more. You have to take note of that. Thank you so very much. This is all I have for you today. This is my follower who asked this question. I hope this answers your question. To know, we talk about bedding materials that I use. So if what you have been using, just as you commented, is quite expensive, look for alternative, preferably this sawdust. You go to any sawmill if it's nearby, get some. It's very easy to use. You don't have to know so much to be able to use it, though it requires some little technicalities, which is that covering the sawdust for the first few days. That is not allowing the chicks to have access to the sawdust for the first few days. After that, you are good to go. Now, before 1 week, you remove them, bring another one, because it's free. So at the end, you'll be so happy, because that will reduce your cost of production. I appreciate your question. I appreciate your comment. If you find this video helpful, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, like, Comment and share, as this will help us to grow our channel and reach a larger audience. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.